Okay, if I'm going to ask questions in class that I want to be able to get responses from students, first I'm going to have to start that class. So if you saw the video on creating a class in Smart Response Teacher Tools, this is what you do with it. So I'm going to click on Response, and I can go down to Start Class. I'm going to pick Algebra 1 First Period. So now that it tells me that class has started, all of those student names and IDs that I have now entered, students can now from that class will now be available. So if I'm going to start this question, students will be directed to go to response.smartech.com in their device and add this 6-digit assessment ID. I would recommend writing this website on the side of your projector perhaps in this ID, because you can also then go to the QR code. Students can just snap that with their smartphone QR code readers and it'll take them right to the assessment. Now, because you've set up your class in Smart Response, they'll include the assessment ID for the class, and then they'll put in their own student ID so you can keep track of their data. So the student ID would be the digits that you put in, either their student ID or their lunch code that you put in when you imported or created their class lists. You can see how long the class has been running this question. As students log in, you will see how many have logged in and who is or isn't finished, and you'll be able to see a preview of what they've done. So that's how you start a question. When you stop a question, there'll be a couple second lag, and when the question is done, if we had answered it, you would see a pie chart here of the possible answers. So that is how you start a question. And again, that was a single question. So that student only got to see that question. If you now want to ask the students, do you own a cell phone? That's a separate question. Has to be started again. Now, it's still under this assessment ID. So as long as the students don't log out of their phones, the next question will pop up on their phone. But because we didn't group these questions together, you're answering them one at a time. If we had a Smart Response title page, students would get all of these questions at once and answer them on their own.